children, if they were on the reserve, someone would love to collect the reward. Yeah, that's the reason that they put the reward out, to kind of cover that track. You got that right. Miss Kitty, in my opinion, the RCMP should be pressing Justin. Both Janie and DM made a big deal in early news interviews saying Justin doesn't live here. Oh, you mean Justin, brother Justin? Yeah, we don't know how the RCMP feel about that. They obviously know the circumstances, right? So it's not like they're going to be open and answer any questions in that regard. We recognize it to be a bit of a wild card in that sense. Another layer of possibilities, Miss Kitty. Well, MBM told Belinda on Saturday, May 3rd, that Justin was staying there. Wonder where he was staying. Probably he's probably riding shotgun out in the RV. Do you think he was sleeping with Mom in the RV? Or do you think that he was sleeping on the couch? Norbeaster, and I was just offering my opinion on that, Natasha. Oh, I missed what you were saying. Now, that's all soft meat. All of that dirt there, all of that dirt has been dug out from that hill and pulled down, and it's fairly sandy. It doesn't look compacted. It's not going to be very, very deep. It's going to be able to, you're going to be able to imprint some tire tracks on it. Maybe we can see it a little better if we do this. Let's see. I should say hi to you all. Let's see, I don't look my best today. Do I have my webcam? Where's my webcam, darling? There we are. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Mwah! I love you all. Oh, I'm not looking my best. I feel great, though. Let's open this up. Let's have a look. Let me show you what I mean there. But yeah, the whole reason Janie was out there raking, okay? We'll pull it up. The whole reason it's even an issue in the first place is because she has to, when you report the kids missing and there's no tire tracks in or out, it's going to look awfully suspicious when the cops come out and take a look at the driveway and it's freshly graded. Well, that's interesting. So she's trying to voluntarily give you some information, and hopefully you take that and digest it and think, oh, wow, this Janie sure is an honest person. I believe her about fucking everything. In light of Jack and Lily gone missing. That's the point I'm bringing it to you. That's the point on saying it in the first place. She was out there raking, for sure. But it had nothing to do with a pool that... May 1st? Come on. Like they do all kinds of planning around there, like you can see around the house, right? Oh, geez, you guys are just really planning another little project out. Oh, we can see that by the shit, like the mattresses all over the backyard. Heaven's sakes. The spinner, the washing machine. Another 10 feet, maybe the county would pick it up and just take it to the dump for you. Just dump it on the side of the road. What's going on, Taze? Yeah, Jillies. First she had a shovel and it was filling potholes. Yeah, and it's changed. Well, because she figured she'd kill two birds with one stone. Like, I mean, the whole reason I'm bringing that up is to just bullshit you with the story about why there's nothing to see here, in other words, when it comes to the traffic on that driveway. That would be the thought. Barky boys. crafting with the sassy chicks, and we have fence around everything but the pool. Yeah, it seems a little bit bizarre. Like you're questioning Janie's interior decorating. She wouldn't be very good at SimCity, would she? Yeah, she's up there in the middle of the night raking because she's concerned about the potholes in the driveway in the middle of like a war zone, right? Sounds like somebody who's suffering some PTSD or some flashbacks. Might be on acid. Hold on, my friends. You know what I mean? It's plausible. Like, Janie can say she's raking out there. She didn't have to really give you any reason. Like, take a look at the state of the hill. Someone's been in there with like an excavator and dug that up to put her RV in that. You go back and compare that to 2018. That's all a hill. It's been pushed back up there, and there's a big loose mound of dirt. And she then just adds it down and tries to bring something up to grade. Whether they're doing it properly, I highly doubt it. This is just like a tweaker's project. All kinds of weird shit going on back in here. But her being out there with a rake isn't necessarily anything suspicious. At this point in time it is, because we're of course worried about destruction of evidence. And isn't it interesting how Jack and Lily go missing from this house? If you were truly confused and victimized like they want to portray that they are, you would have thought that they would have just been so intrigued and really pushing the fact that Justin and Bradley Wong heard this vehicle come and go 4 or 5 times within earshot that particular evening from May 1st into May 2nd, instead of try to dismiss everything that they have to say. Well, somebody, you're living out there and there's 2 people reporting vehicular traffic all night long centered around your house, and now you are missing 2 children. From the parent's standpoint, I would tend to think that you would think it would be suspicious, therefore a valid point to bring up publicly and acknowledge, rather than try to dismiss them as though they were trying to pin something on you. And that's what, of course, Daniel and Janie did since the get-go, before anybody else out there even knew who the hell they were or what relevance it even had. They were well ahead of that curve. That is suspicious. And that's how they know who's done it. Among many other things. It all points back to the same thing. Why you would want to put a pool out in a parking... Yeah, well, exactly. It's an extension of your driveway. Like, what the fuck is going on back there that you guys all of a sudden are in this situation? You didn't even, Janie, introduce it as a temporary... You did talk about how you were out there because you couldn't stand the hustle and bustle. You couldn't stand the noise of the trailer. The kids at that. So you went out to stay in this ramshackle, broken down RV in your very own home. That doesn't say to me that this is a very fulfilling, happy, loving home to begin with. There's contention. And they're not even hiding it. They don't even hide it. They put it back onto Malaya at every step. You want me to play a little Janie right now?
Seen through videos of what the searchers went through. There's no way that a 6 and a 4-year-old could go through those woods. Believe me. As I said, don't even want to go through the woods. I take the easiest route out. But if those kids are in the woods, they wouldn't have got very far. We searched. Look at all the searchers that were here. They had the dogs in here. They had drugs.
How dare you come in here? How dare you come in here and say that? I've got a comment in my chat that's suggesting that Janie McKenzie, what is it? How does that say? Miss Kitty 769 says, "Do you think Janie McKenzie is a math Kenzie?" I'm going to have to say she's certainly acting like one. She's certainly acting like she's under the influence at all times, no matter what it is, and it's having a really ill effect on her personality. Do I think Janie is a math Kenzie? Yes. For the sake of this conversation, yes, I do.
They have helicopters. A 6 and a 4-year-old are not going to go through that woods. Believe me, they're not.
You see how she cleverly... who is that nasty bitch from 2001 or two? How many Dalmatians? 1,001 Dalmatians. What's the nasty woman's name? Cruel. What's that? Cruella. I think her name's Cruella. Janie's like that. She is a nasty bitch. Janie's a math mum. Poor kids. That's the... Listen, absolutely. Cruella de Vil. Yes, thank you very much, friends. This is Cruella de Vil of Gairloch Road.
Well, that's a question that's hard for me to answer. The reason why is, if any of you have watched Malaya's video of her when she was a teenager and the way she talked.
Any chance, like, so Cruella's taking a situation and making it worse by now attacking Malaya. And you're wanting to tell us that you've got nothing to do with whatever happened to Jack and Lily. You live in the goddamn driveway. How could you not? It would be impossible for her not to have witnessed anything and everything if anything indeed did happen. It was probably her ignoring all of the noise like she does in the trailer again. I wonder what sort of accident happened in that trailer. Was Danny Boy under a meth-induced psychosis? Remember when she said she grabbed Jack from the wood, changed her word from dragged to grab? Oh shit, I don't know about that. You'd have to point that out to me. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. Do I remember it? I'm not so certain. She does enough of it, though. I don't doubt it. Believe me, those kids couldn't have gone into the woods. This after days. Daniel's out there for days, out there searching. If you can't find your kids within leg shot, you've got a problem. You probably need to go about this in a different way instead of continue on doing absolutely nothing. That's so suspicious. That's reeks of avoidance, physical avoidance. Not just the language statement analysis, but physically avoiding. Yeah, Jacqueline. Yeah, you don't need insulation in there. You've got a wood stove. You got a wood stove. It'll be hot as hell in that place. It'll get so damn hot in there that you want to be stripped down into your skivvies. She speaks too much for saying nothing, Natasha. I know what you're saying. Happy Merry Christmas there, Mr. Hemi. You don't like that Fort Playpen thing in the woods? Meep? Well, you have to remember a lot of the things that you saw are probably things that old Daniel did with his own kids, right? There's 2 other kids that come and visit. So we're talking about Jack and Lily specifically, though. Jack and Lily, unfortunately, were treated very poorly on this property. You can't even deny that. It's sad to listen to. And they've got their abuser now in front of the public, the world, claiming that they loved him, they bonded with him, they relied on him, they only listened to him. Well, geez, I wonder what I wonder why that is. He probably beat them that way. They feared him. He was unpredictable.
About things is the way she is now. Malaya and I could not sit down and have a conversation. If it was just a brief conversation.
So I wonder what else there is, if there's things that she's willing to share about how she didn't get along with Malaya in that sense, or the way that she felt about her. She doesn't really get across to us at any point in time the reasons why. But she's acknowledged it. All of these are contributing factors to whatever happened to Jack and Lily. No question about it.
When I first met her, when Daniel introduced me to her and the kids, it was okay. My personal opinion of her, I'm not gonna say.
So right away, when you first met her and the kids, before they even moved in, you don't even want to share your personal opinion about her. So already there's a problem before they even move into the trailer on Garlock Road. We are headed for disaster. This relationship, no wonder she wanted the fuck out of there. But they got kicked out of Patty's house because she was unwilling to get educated, find a job, especially when she had all of those individuals around her in order to contribute to some sort of support, in order to tie up the schedule so it wouldn't cost her thousands of dollars in childcare a month. But she squandered that away. I know what that's like. That happened to me. I didn't see that coming. Never anticipate that. Personality of a cactus bush. I agree 100%. Janie's resentment of Malaya and the kids is bloody obvious. Oh, I mean, she doesn't hide it. She doesn't hide it. But I do feel that she's sanitizing it. I believe it's much, much worse. Imagine where there's no cameras. You're not going on the record. You're not making a public statement like is happening here. What she really, or how she really speaks about her, feels. Or worse yet, towards her, which means towards Jack and Lily. Jack and Lily are an extension of Malaya in this sense. And Malaya's being made to feel bad about it. So it'd be interesting to know, before they made this transition from Truro, from Patty's house, being kicked out of there with Daniel, to having to move back into the trailer, what Janie's perception or perspective is on it. Did she understand the reason as to why they had to move? Well, wouldn't the same issue be applied to Garlock Road and Janie's house? One would think. One would think so. So you think so? There's something to that about what Wade said about Malaya being a lazy mother in that sense. It could be that, when you're lazy in that sense, it's not exactly that she's planning out 3 square meals a day and having a great family time dinner in that sense. That worries me. So how are the kids eating? The kids are always hungry, always wandering around and being ignored. You can definitely get that from Daniel, but it